What's up, guys? It's your homegirl Yennybelles, and we're back. I'm not wearing pajamas. I'm sorry, it's so hot. It's actually been so long since I last talked to you. Why am I wearing headphones? I'm not even listening to anything. So there hasn't been any updates since I don't know, March? I'm so sorry. It's just been so busy. Things have changed a lot. And I'm here to tell you all. But it's gonna be boring if I'm just gonna be sitting here talking to the camera. So I decided, let's train together, warm up for Valorant, while I tell you what's happening to my life lately. So a lot of you don't know yet, but I'm a game streamer now. I stream on Twitch and I stream on Facebook daily. So don't forget to check out Facebook and Twitch. Just search for Yennybelles and you'll just see my content there. I play games every day. I'm mostly into FPS and MOBA games and nothing has changed. I still like playing. So the biggest change in my life right now is that I'm no longer in the Philippines, and it's a lot of change. I'm currently living in Canada. I'm a foreign student here. I'm learning marketing in Seneca College. And it's been nice. So why don't I tell you about the life of a foreign student here in Canada and how it differs from being a student way back when I was in the Philippines. Now, life of a student in Canada, it's actually not as I would have expected it, because it's right now it's the pandemic, nobody can go out, so really we're all just staying at home studying online. And it's no different if I was just studying back home online in the Philippines. So one of the few things you might want to know about studying in Canada is that it is very expensive. If you are comparing it to the Philippines, you would need at least around maybe $20,000 per year for school alone. And this is in Canadian dollars. So $20,000 is around maybe 800,000 pesos. $20,000 here doesn't sound much, but 800,000 pesos is a really big amount. Tuition fee for international students is different from the people who are already a permanent resident here. It's almost triple the price. Then you'd have to think about the cost of living. Rent here, depending on where you are, can become very expensive, and depending on the amenities you choose to live with. For example, if you're going to be living alone and you want a studio apartment, you would need at least $2,000 per month just to keep up with the living expenses of a single apartment. It's very expensive here in Toronto. But if you move somewhere else, it might be cheaper, except it really depends where your school is. But it actually doesn't matter as much now because it's the pandemic. Everybody is studying at home. But what if you're not? But if classes do start coming back to the normal routine where you actually need to go to school physically, that would be a little bit of a problem because you'd need to commute every day, and things here are quite far. Like, for example, from my house to Seneca College, it would take me at least 45 minutes to get there, and because it's a big place. It's just that the city is a big place, and you would need to take a train and you would need to take a bus, and it's not really ideal now because of the pandemic. One thing I do like about living here is that food is very affordable. You can also work 20 hours a week as a student. To be really honest with you, if you're gonna come here and think that working 20 hours a week as a student can pay off all the bills that you need to pay, it's really not. It's never gonna be enough. The cost of the tuition fee alone, you won't even be able to pay that using the 20-hour per week capping unless you're making a lot of money, because you're only allowed 20 hours, and be very, very careful about that because they're very strict about that here. So if you decide to work beyond the 20-hour limit, you have to watch out. It's illegal, it's not allowed, and they can really cut your visa and deport you back home. But you know what? I keep talking about the negatives. It seems like it's such a negative country. It's actually not. There are different reasons why studying in Canada is one of the best things I ever did. Number one is English. Yes. If you study elsewhere, for example in Japan, it's kind of hard to adapt without the English language. But here, it's actually quite easy because everybody speaks English. And I think the most beautiful thing about the English here is that they won't judge your accent. I'm not trying to hate on Filipinos. It's just that when you're studying in the Philippines and you speak English, if it's not the best English they heard, you're gonna get bullied. I can't say bullied. You're gonna get judged by a lot of Filipinos. I don't know why. It's the culture. I don't blame them. But here, you can have the weirdest English accent you've ever heard, and no one, absolutely no one, will bat an eye, because everybody here came from different countries. It's just how the world works here. Nobody sees a difference because they just respect each other here. It's really so beautiful. I love it. Another positive to move here and start studying here is the diversity. Like I said, people here come from different countries and you just learn so much about their culture. So my classmates come from all over the world. Like I have classmates from Germany, I have classmates from Japan, I have classmates from Taiwan, and like I'm one of their classmates who's from the Philippines. It's kind of nice. And sometimes there's a lot of people who come up to me and like I'm the first Filipino they've met, and I'm like, I'm trying to set a good standard for y'all. Another thing that's positive here is the safety. It's so safe here. It's so visible. Police are so visible. They're everywhere. It's not like there hasn't been weird stuff happening in any other part of Canada, but it's unlike in the Philippines where you would be afraid for your life. You know, here I go grocery shopping at 10 p.m. I walk alone and it's fine. It doesn't matter because there's so many lights. People are everywhere. It's kind of a busy city, and it's just safe. The universities here are quite really good too by the way they teach people. They really push your creativity to the limits. They have a very, very strict law against plagiarism here in Canada. Not that I plagiarize in the Philippines, but in the Philippines, you copy someone else's work and the school doesn't bother to check it unless your professors actually do. But here it goes through so many programs within the school system that if you copy something from the internet and you don't give proper credits, or it's not really yours and you claim it to be, you're gonna be in really big trouble. You're gonna be you can be deported by just simply plagiarizing. Professors would rather look at or listen to your most absurd ideas as long as it's yours, rather than seeing you copy someone else's work. Another nice thing to know about Canada is that every area has their own health and wellness kind of park or area where they encourage people, like students and everyone, to come outside and do some physical exercise. Like in my area alone, there is a tennis court, an ice rink, a swimming pool, a soccer field, a football field, and like so many more in between. Like I can't even start with, you can do so much. Like there's no, if you can't afford the gym, they would give you options. So they're trying to keep Canada healthy. And that's the same thing with food. The food administration here is very strict about what goes into the bodies of Canadians in general. Sugary items are not that sweet. Salty food are not that salty. Everything here is just controlled. And it feels really nice because you know that everything that goes into your body has been approved to be not healthy. Like, you know, you wouldn't buy a candy and say that that's healthy, but it's in the normal amount, so it's up to you whether or not to eat more than the normal amount. Everything in the menu has their calorie count. Even when you buy from the grocery store, every food item on the shelves need to have a calorie count per serving, and it's really convenient if you're trying to cut on your calories. You know, if you're trying to diet, it's really easy to count calories here because they tell you immediately off the menu on restaurants and off food shelves how many calories are you eating. And lastly, what I would like to talk to you about Canada is the weather. It's quite unpredictable. Although, you know, the weather app is actually quite accurate here. It's just quite unpredictable. Like, for example, right now, you can see the sun coming into the house, but it's actually like 5 degrees outside. It's so cold. So it's so nice to catch up with you guys. It's just that I haven't done an update in quite a while, and you know, like, this is where we started. I just miss you guys. And I hope we get to do more content on our YouTube videos soon. I hope to see you all again soon. I plan to come back to YouTube and do these videos again weekly with you. So if y'all want to know more, comment down below if you have any questions. Like, once again, I'm reminding you all to visit my Twitch page or my Facebook page or my Trovo page. I actually stream on a lot of platforms lately. I tried streaming on YouTube. I don't like it much. I'm gonna keep this for our personal content. Again, this is Yennybelles. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next week in my next pajamas.